Welcome to this week's video. This week it's actually the NAF 5-star Winter Championships, which has been held for the first year that I'm aware of at Addington. So unfortunately we haven't obviously qualified this year, but I do want to wish everybody that is up there competing the best of luck, and I hope the weather isn't too bad. I have been very, very lucky to have qualified both in 2022 and 2023 for the Winter Championships. And actually, although I am gutted that we haven't qualified this year, it has made me realise quite what an achievement that actually qualifying the previous years was. Whereas I think actually at the time I probably took it a little bit for granted, and it has sort of fueled my desire, obviously, to try and qualify again. But obviously at the moment we are looking at working towards the Summer Championships. So you might notice in this video, although you probably can't see from the angle at the moment, that Beau has actually had his shoes removed. We made the decision to try him barefoot as he was still not quite comfortable, and we couldn't really quite sort of pinpoint what was the issue for him. So after speaking obviously to my vet and my farrier, I've made the decision, because he's got quite good feet, and obviously we work mainly on a surface, and for hacking I'm going to try some hoof boots, which I've taken some measurements from. So in these sort of pictures you can just see I've just taken some rough measurements to try and get some hoof boots sorted for him, and I'm doing some research into that at the moment. The other thing that, and what we're actually going to do in this video, because the weather is revolting again, is actually they're going to have a bit of a pamper session. So they're both tied up eating at the moment, and Beau is in desperate need of a bit of a mane tidy up, and they both need their tails sorting. So they're going to have a quick groom, and then going to have a bit of a massage treatment, and then I've got to do a little bit of trimming up. So we'll make a start. So we'll start with Top Cat. He's got his own brush. He's actually more covered in hay from Beau. They've been out in the field this morning, so they've had their legs already sort of washed. And because it was so wet, Top Cat's still a bit damp in places on his head. Let me just give him a quick sort of brush off, because we're going to give him a bit of a hot oil treatment, which he always quite likes. Plus I've washed their stable rugs today because they were full of hair. So what I'll do, I think I'll give Beau his brush as well. He's got a different brush. They have their own brushes. So try not to sort of transfer anything from one to the other, although they do spend time grooming each other. Plus, they like different texture brushes. So Beau's got quite sensitive skin. So they've had a brush this morning. And Beau's saddle patch is molting. So I don't normally leave a saddle patch on Beau, but I decided to this year because he does, like I've said in my previous videos, he just suffer a little bit with his skin. So I thought that would protect him. But he did get some scabby areas in that place as well. and he gets very itchy with it. So that's just had a quick brush. I'm now going to get the massage pad and put it on Beau, and then Top Cat's going to have the mitt on for a little bit. So let's pop this one on. So he'll enjoy that one for a minute, and I'm going to get the massage. So one massage mitt. Right, so now I'm going to give Top Cat a little bit of a hot cloth with some oil. This time of year I often sort of switch over to using Goodbye Flies in the water, but because it's still so wet, like wintry, I'm still using sort of a hot oil treatment, which I'll do sort of about once a week. So I think it helps keep the sort of skin a little bit more waterproof and prevent mud sort of sticking to them quite so much. So we're going to do Top Cat first. Perhaps won't let him try and drink the water, although I'm not sure he would. You checking what I'm doing, Top Cat? Yeah, make sure I'm doing it right. His summer coat starting to come through quite nicely now. You go over, Top Cat, good boy. That's it. Yeah. I think there's been an awful lot of skin issues this winter, and I don't know if it's because it's been so wet. It's also been quite mild as well. Take his feet out. Come on, little man. Good boy. And that one. Sit, good boy. All right. His tail is far too long at the moment, so much so he's actually standing on it, so I'm going to give that a quick trim. How short do you want it, Top Cat? Still quite damp, go there, shall we? I'll take a bit off tonight, I'll probably have to tidy it up tomorrow. So that's Top Cat, sort of had a bit of a spruce up. he can now have his stable rug on, which has had a wash. Oh, it's a big sigh. Is that a big sigh? Right. You enjoy your spruce up? Yeah, good boy. So that's him all done for a minute. So he can go back in the stable, and then he's not going to get in the way for Beau. So my next job is, while he's still having his massage, is to tidy up his mane. It's just got a little bit long. He doesn't have it plaited, it's just so thick. And because we don't take his feathers off, and he is a pure Welsh cob, we've made the decision to sort of leave him looking natural, and we do that right all the way up through, even at the championships. But it does need a tidy up. It's got a little bit long, a little bit out of control. So we're going to make a start on that now. So I've actually got my hoodie on that we had made up for the championships when we went in 2022. Because it's quite handy, because I can put the bits and pieces, like the scissors and combs, actually in the little pocket. And also when I'm handling the oil, I don't really want to get it on my sort of smart aluminium tops. Right, how short are we going to go today then, Beau? So I actually use thinning scissors to do it. He won't let me pull it, and I must admit I'm not a fan of pulling manes. I don't think it's very fair to them. So first off, I'm just going to get some of the length off. Boy, how's that looking? Happy with that? Now I'm taking your massage pad off. You want to itch, don't you? Beau's really close to standing on my feet. Although you haven't got shoes on now. Lighter work of it. So I got my Lister Liberties here, and I'm gonna sort of just cut off the bottom of the tail, so I'll show you how I do that. First off, I've got to get hold of it, This is where I almost need another pair of hands, because it is just so thick. While I've got my battery back for my clippers on, I'm going to just trim up his hairy chin. Obviously we don't do anything with the whiskers, we're not allowed to, and I wouldn't anyway. So I'm just going to remove this sort of long hair that's on his chin. So I've got my slightly smaller sort of trimmers, which are much quieter around the head. And I've also got one of the combs on as well. He's a good boy. Hey, you're not itching, are you? You wouldn't do that. So now it's his sort of hot oil. As you can hear, I'm actually running out. You're super short mane. Over you go. Come on. I know, it's nearly finished. Come on. Yeah, I know. I know. You're not sure sometimes about being pampered, are you? Mind your bum, don't be grumpy. So that's both ponies had a bit of a pamper. Beau's obviously had a haircut as well. So he's now looking like he's ready to go back to school, which he is. So fingers crossed we can start doing a little bit more in the school with him. And obviously once he's got his hoof boots, we can get out and hacking again. So that's basically it for this week. And I will see you again next week. Bye. What are you doing? What are you doing?